Hi guys, welcome back to Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to be talking about the September month reading, and this is going to be a very interesting month. Difficult month as well, because we are going to be facing two eclipses, which is the lunar eclipse coming on around 7th of September, and then around 21st, 22nd of September we will find the solar eclipse coming as well. Now the lunar eclipse will be falling when moon comes in conjunction with Rahu in the sign of Aquarius, while the solar eclipse will come in place when moon will be conjunct with sun in the sign of Virgo around 21st of September. And both of these eclipses will be extremely crucial because they are going to be defining the way we are going to be approaching things. The lunar eclipse is going to be eclipsing our thought process, our decision making, our belief system, because Rahu is going to cast that shadow in your decision making as well. And depending on where this eclipse is happening in your chart, you will be affected accordingly. Whilst solar eclipse is going to be happening again with the conjunction of moon with sun, when moon is going to essentially eclipse over the sun, he is going to be falling right between the earth and the sun. But again, you will have to understand that this is going to be a partial solar eclipse, which is going to be happening in different parts of the world. Depending on what part of the world you are going to be watching this video from, you will have a respective impact as well as based on your zodiac signs. So without further ado, what we are going to do now, we are going to look into some of the important dates that are going to be coming into picture in terms of transit and understand what's going to be meaning it for us. Now, guys, as you can see on your screen here, that Sun is currently in the sign of Leo until 15th of September. And then for the second half of the month, it is going to be transiting into the sign of Virgo. Now, Sun has been in its own Leo sign, but imagine it has been in difficult situation with its conjunction, with its collaboration with Ketu in the same house so far. Then Mercury is in Leo until 14th of September, and almost a day ahead, it will advance into its sign of exaltation in the sign of Virgo from 15th of September onwards. So, predominantly, both Sun and Mercury are going to be remaining in the first half of the month in your Leo sign, and then they will together transit a day in difference into the sign of Virgo. Venus is in the sign of Cancer until September 14th, and it is going to come into the sign of Leo, where it will become conjunct with Ketu from September 14th onwards. Now, that is going to be very crucial, and we are going to analyze as to what sort of an impact we can anticipate there. Mars is in the sign of Virgo. It is there until September 12th, and from 13th onwards, it is going to be moving into the sign of Libra. Jupiter continues its presence in the sign of Gemini itself in Chatra. So that is a good bit that is happening there. And it is going to be in the sign of Gemini for the month of September. Remember, October is the time when it is going to be moving into its sign of exaltation. Saturn is continuing in its motion of retrogression, and it is in Pisces in Uttara Nakshatra. And the most important thing, guys, you have to understand here is that Saturn will be coming into deepest retrogression because it will be bang opposite to Sun as well from the second half of the month. So it will be getting into its deepest retrogression during the month of September, and that is where its impact becomes extremely crucial for all of us. Lots of things happening. Saturn getting into deep retrogression, two eclipses as I was addressing before, and then Rahu is in Purva Nakshatra of Jupiter itself in the sign of Aquarius, while it is coming out, in degrees. So it is coming out of its Bal Avastha. It is going to get a lot more strength in its itself. But the lunar eclipse is where it is going to cast its magic, and you have to be very sharp, shrewd in terms of understanding what sort of a impact it will have for you. And then Ketu, of course, is sitting in Pur Falguni nakshatra itself of Leo of Venus, which is where he will be becoming conjunct with Venus. So, guys, without further ado, we will now deep dive into your monthly reading and understand that what these transits are going to be impacting and how they are going to be impacting you for the course of the month. So, Pisces, if you can see in your chart here, if you are watching this from a Pisces moon perspective, you are having Saturn retrograded on top of your Rashi itself, which means this is the second phase of your Sadesati. And of course, from a Pisces Lagna standpoint, this placement of Saturn in your Lagna in a retrograde motion is a challenging placement. I have been calling out that it is not easy when Saturn is going to be retrograded because Saturn is going to get into its deepest retrogression during the course of this month. And that is going to happen from second half of the month onwards. Saturn happens to be the lord of your 11th house and your 12th house in retrogression in your Lagna, in your Rashi itself, which means you are going to find both dual effects of Saturn coming into play. There will be certain gains that you anticipate, but they could be eluding you as well during the course of this month. And at the same time, certain losses could, as such, amplify. There could be certain investments that you might have to make during the course of this month for the long term duration perspective. How I would want you to understand September month's reading from a holistic perspective. This is a month where we are undergoing two key eclipses. The lunar eclipse is going to be happening on 7th of September onwards, which is going to be in your 12th house. And the solar eclipse will happen in your 7th house. What does it mean? That any kind of major decisions which comes with respect to investments that I was just alluding few seconds back have to be carefully thought of. Yes, you will hear all over that it's going to be a new start, new beginning. There are going to be new set of initiatives that you will embark upon. But remember, the lunar eclipse is coming in conjunction with Rahu. Rahu is gaining magnitude, Rahu is gaining strength, and he is the lord of your 12th. So, as long as your decision making is related to some positive affairs, say any kind of business transaction with a foreign community, any kind of projects that you are undertaking with international export and import related matters, or you are, collaborating with people from far away shores. Well, there definitely you will get an opportunity to embark on a new area. But if you are anticipating this with respect to any unseen challenges, any unforeseen circumstances coming in your life, then that is where it is going to be paramount critical that you take a cautious step ahead. Do I have a silver bullet to address that? No. The only mechanism that you can follow here is that focus towards meditation. Turn towards Shiva. If you are going through Saturn Antardasha, if you are going to Sun Moon Dasha Antardasha periods, then it is going to be especially crucial for you. And thereby it becomes highly important for you, Pisces, to understand that any matters, challenges related to 12th, which means your losses, your investments, your sleep in itself, your sleep cycle could get disturbed. You might start questioning your own enlightenment, your own knowledge, your own understanding. You might find difficulties with respect to your belief system, with respect to your spirituality. And it is going to be a difficult thing, especially from a Pisces moon standpoint. Saturn is going to get into a deepest retrogression. And given that you are in Sadesati as well, it is going to be a challenging period from that perspective. And I speak this with a lot of responsibility and caution here, guys. Then you have to also understand that this Saturn is going to be giving an aspect into your third house, a retrograded aspect into your third house, which means that somewhere or the other, there could be a sense of dilemma, confusion in terms of how you would want to put your hard work, where you would want to show courage, and what not is appropriate in terms of the initiatives that you have to take. And that level of diciness, that level of uncertainty is going to caution you, is going to disturb you. Saturn is giving a retrograded aspect to your seventh house as well. Yes, Mercury will get exalted later, and we are going to touch upon that bit. But Saturn's retrograded aspect can cause certain confusion with respect to your partnerships, with respect to your business decisions, with respect to collaboration in your marriage itself. There could be unexpected confusion, disagreements that might come with your partners. So you will have to maintain an absolute level of calm during this situation. Work in itself or collaboration with your bosses could be difficult. You might be finding that whatever initiatives that you are going to take at your workplace, they might have a different repercussion altogether. The good bit is Jupiter is still giving an aspect, so it is going to hold your baton there. It is going to help you take the right decisions, walk the right talk at your workplace, no matter what sphere of life you come from, be it you being a student, a homemaker, employed under some organization, or embarking on your own startup, your own enterprise, your own business, your self-employment as such. But this is going to be crucial that you do not make any kind of hasty decisions in terms of expansion, in terms of expenses, in terms of any kind of uncertain, unknown situations in your life. Yes, positivity will come for people who are collaborating with foreign projects, people who are collaborating with foreign entities as such. Now, as I mentioned, that moon will be in your 12th house on 7th of September. And when the eclipse is happening there, you can anticipate some problems related to your health. You could face challenges with respect to expenses, your decision making, with respect to tackling an unexpected challenge coming in your life might not be the best. And it may not be a bad idea for you to procrastinate anything couple of days before, means from 5th of September onwards all the way till 10th of September onwards. Do not jump into any kind of major aggressive decision making, because your choice of words, your action, your thought process could be clouded during this period. This Rahu is in trine with Jupiter as well. And Jupiter is still gaining strength. It is going to get trine with Mars as well for the second half of the month. And thereby you see that there will be unique energies coming in from your 12th, 4th, and 8th house perspectives. Now, if we move further, we see that Jupiter happens to be your Lord or Rashi Lord if you're watching from a moon sign standpoint, and your 10th Lord as well. His placement into the 4th is crucial because his presence here, one good bit is that Jupiter almost acts as if it is placed in its house of exaltation. So Jupiter present here is going to still calm your nerves with respect to the challenges coming at your work front. It'll be important for you to understand that some level of spirituality, some level of belief that you've maintained in the way you've approached things must remain consistent. There could be a lack of self belief that might creep in Pisces, and you have to stand your ground firmly during those challenging periods and ensure that you continue to work in the direction that you've been putting your efforts so far and henceforth. A lot of clarity will come with the movement of moon over the course of the month, and that is why this month becomes crucial. Then this Jupiter is also giving an aspect to your 8th house and 12th. One thing is for certain, that 12th expansion is bound to come, and I have been alluding to this bit from the last couple of months itself. But given that this is the month of eclipse, there could be a lot of uncertainty in your expenses. I will iterate here, folks. Do not jump into new expenses unless and until you had planned them beforehand. If there is a new scenario which is coming up, you might have to figure out a way to buy time to take that decision. It could be something related to purchase of a new property, a new vehicle, because Jupiter is sitting in the 4th house. It is in trine with Rahu. It could be a movement with respect to your job, relocation, new job offer, discovery itself. I said Jupiter is giving an aspect to your 10th house as well. So work related matters will also be crucial, and there will be challenges and difficulties in those areas. But try and push that decision for the last part of this month. Avoid any kind of rushed decisions in any of these areas around any kind of uncertainty. Health related matters will require your concern. Mars will also move there, and we'll touch upon that in a bit. But then you see there is so much of a cloud in your 4th, 5th, and 6th houses. Now, if you look, Venus is placed for the first half of the month in your 5th house itself. That's a good placement. He is the Lord of your 3rd house and your 8th house. 8th Lord has gone 10 places away from itself into the 5th. So there will be some unexpected gains that might percolate in your life through your own hard work, through the support of your siblings, your family members. But you will have to engage your creativity, your knowledge, your ability to diversify against your investments. Something of that sort is going to remain crucial. And that will deliver gains for you because Venus is giving an aspect into your 11th house as well. Yes, the 11th lord is retrograded, which means there is going to be a heightened cheshta bal. And it is only going to increase because Saturn is going into deep retrogression this month. So, thereby, your intent to find those gains is going to be increased. Unexpected, uncertain gains, gambling related matters, speculation related matters are going to be of interest to you. At the same time, there could be certain activities, unexpected situations which might come in your romantic life. Unexpected call that you were, not connected or related to your partner. There were certain gaps, issues creeping up. They might also get addressed during the course of this period, whilst Venus is in the fifth house itself. The challenging bit of this will be when Venus is transiting in the second half of the month in your sixth house. Now, sixth house Venus, all of you know, is not one of the greatest positions to be in. Yes, it is going to be forming Viprit Raj Yoga because your eighth lord is 11 places away into the sixth house. But the difficult part is that it is going to become conjunct with Ketu. Now, the silver lining here is, guys, that Ketu is in the nakshatra of Venus itself. But Ketu Venus combination is generally not considered to be great. This is where I was alluding to health related matters. You will have to take proper care of yourself, especially if you're watching this from a moon sign perspective. You are in Sade Sati as well. And thereby, a lot of emotional, mental trauma is what you can go through in the second half. There could be disturbances that might come, unexpected challenges that might come your way. And you might almost feel like giving up, not participating in it. In a regular circumstances, I keep on saying that it forms good Shatruhanta Yoga. You have Sun, Mercury also placed here. A lot of things can be addressed. But remember, whilst in the first half of the month, Venus was in your fifth house, Mercury, being the seventh lord, was 12th away into the sixth, along with Sun. So we will talk about that placement as well. But coming back to the Venus's movement here, when eighth lord is coming into the sixth, it will help you overcome those difficult situations, but after a certain degree of pain, after a certain degree of trouble, because it is a Vipreet Raj Yoga. The Raj Yoga is coming into play after difficult circumstances. Now, this could also mean that there could be some degree of separation in your relationships, in your efforts. There could be a lack of motivation that could creep in the second half in your life, where you do not feel the drive enough to push forward. Why? Because Venus is your third lord and he is gone, 4 places away, and then it is in conjunction with Ketu. So the efforts, satisfaction can come, but because it is with Ketu, you will not be satisfied as well, or you will not put satisfactory hard work that is required. That could be the problematic situation. But remember, Venus is Shukracharya. And what does he have in his strength? Sanjeevani. He has the ability to heal. So even though Venus, being the eighth lord, is coming into the sixth, it is still going to help you heal from those problems. He's a benefic planet. He cannot discard that ability. And you will find gains. You will heal up after problematic situations once you are able to face them, overcome them. Or maybe overcoming is going to happen as a very painful process through the course of this period. Distracting yourself from those challenges, from those obstacles is the first thing that might come to your mind thanks to Ketu's presence. That's how Ketu tackles that Chatruhanta Yoga. And because lunar eclipse would have also already happened by this time, there will be a lot of confusion. There will be a lot of misunderstanding in your mind as to you making calculation of or anticipation of what sort of problems can come. You see where I'm heading to. So because that eclipse is happening in the 12th, in the house of the unknown enemies, your known problems is something that you might not be able to anticipate. And when it comes, you will be caught in a pickle. But you will come out of it as the weeks progress over a period of time. Now, for the first half of the month, what you will also see is that Mercury, Sun, and Ketu will be forming its conjunction, their 3 planetary conjunction in your 6th house itself. So, Pisces, one thing is for sure. battle is going to be hard, and you might be immersed with a lot of challenges, lot of troubles at this point in time. The sixth lord being in the sixth house is a good thing to happen. But at the same time, when seventh lord is going 12th away from itself and coming into the sixth, it gives you a clear cut message that there will be challenges, there will be problems, commotions with respect to your partnerships, with respect to your marriage. And it is not that things are going to ease off, because when Mercury moves into its sign of exaltation, then Sun, being the sixth lord, again becomes conjunct there. So September is a month where throughout you will find this problem that you will be addressing some or the other issues with respect to your partner, with respect to your spouse, with respect to your marriage. And this could take a lot of mental toll on you. There is also a probability that your partner themselves could be facing a lot of issues, and you might have to lend a supporting hand. And this is where Pisces, you will have to be extremely patient. That collaboration, that belief system has to remain intact. Mercury happens to be the lord of your fourth house and your seventh house, being in the sixth. Now, fourth lord is 3 places away. So you will have to strive hard. You will have to put in your own efforts towards your mental peace. You will have to work towards your assets, your property, your growth that you're trying to embark upon. But again, there will be this push and pull of that axis of Rahu and Ketu. Because of the eclipse, it becomes highly prominent, especially in the first half when Moon will be reaching your 11th and later the 12th. So thereby finding that balance is the most crucial thing. And I want to allude back that Jupiter is the planet which is going to help you, because he is sitting in your house of mental peace. It is sitting in your house of assets, your property, your real estate, and giving the aspects back to the 12th, 10th, and 8th. So remaining consistent with spirituality, remaining consistent with that self belief, and putting the effort, because your Lagna Lord is the only planet which is giving one of the best support through the course of this month to pull you out of all those challenges. Sixth Lord being in the sixth Sun is a good thing to be in. He is going to give you the power to face those problems. But he is in a conjunction with Ketu. And that is also a difficult situation to be in, because somewhere the amount of effort which is required would either not be there or would not be visible, which means at your workplace, at your job, in your relationships, what you will find is that you are putting in 100%, more than 100% of the effort that has been asked for. But it is not getting that reflection, it is not getting that visibility, it is not getting that respect from the people around you. And they will continue to challenge you on those grounds. You will find a relief from those aspects once Sun and Mercury move into the seventh house in the second half of the month. At least from a job perspective, there will be a definite relief, because now Mercury will be exalted and the Buddhaditya Yoga will be happening in your seventh house. This will be a good situation for people who are in job, people who are in business. Now, what would happen in your case is that Mercury's presence in the seventh house is going to bring a lot of great ideas. You are going to find some satisfactory movements as well. But again, the problems of Sun's placement here, and Sun is in almost debilitated position in the seventh house. Plus, he's destined to move towards point of debilitation in your eighth house later. So naturally, what you would find is that whilst you will be bringing good level of creativity, good level of imagination, lot of pursuit, energy, it is 10th from the 10th house in your marriage, in your business partnerships, in your relationships. However, there could be certain clash of egos. There, there could be certain disagreements, challenges, arguments that can still creep in your partnerships. This is also going to be a period around 21st of September when Moon would have traversed all over it. Saturn would have got into its deepest point of retrogression. It is already bringing in Sade Sati for Pisces Moon stakeholders, but for Pisces Lagna people, it is like a Maran Karaka position of Saturn, who is having the highest Cheshtabal because of its highest, deepest degree of retrogression, that things can get complicated. So any kind of major changes, if I were in your shoes, I would avoid taking them. I would avoid embarking on those initiatives, because we would want for things to cool down, to settle down during the month of September. Thereby, be cognizant of the fact that you do not come across too egotistical, too sharp in your communication, too aggressive in your communication. For the first 12, 13 days, Mars is also placed in the seventh. So, yes, there is a certain degree of aggression, there is a certain degree of fire that you are bringing in your relationships. That heightened energy is there. Not a good period for people who are planning to get married as well. Mars happens to be the lord of your ninth house in the seventh, and it is the second lord in the seventh as well, which means that money is still going to flow. Luck is still going to favor you during the course of the first half of the month with respect to business matters. And it is going to be like a wavy situation where things are going up, going down, you are recovering, you are fighting back, but there will be definitive lack of mental peace. What happens thereafter is that Mars becomes seventh to itself and 12th to itself, respectively, once he gets into the eighth house. Now, this is not a good situation to be in because Mars is going 12th to itself. Your Bhakya Lord, your Lord of Fortune, destiny, principles, your bosses, superiors is getting 12th to itself. And that will bring a certain degree of uncertainty. It will bring a certain level of confusion. But at the same time, you will highly be protective towards your family, towards your money, towards your savings. And this is a good thing from that perspective because Mars is looking into his own house. So any kind of hasty decisions towards expenses, towards expansion might be curbed because you will have that thought process that amidst all this uncertainty, should I be embarking upon that path? You will have to be extremely watchful with respect to your collaboration with your clients, with your bosses, with your superiors. And things are going to iron out. They are going to smoothen once Mars comes into its own sign in October. But until then, in the month of September, I will give a very cautionary approach, a very cautionary warning. And this is not just for you, Pisces. I don't want you to become, extremely negative in your thought process that we have a very negative picture in terms of timeline. Yes, it's a challenging period. A lot will depend on the dasha, antardasha of your natal chart as well as to how things are panning out. But cranking up the dial on matters that can be pushed, that can be settled peacefully, should not be done. I hope you understand what I have tried to convey. If you have, then please do leave your comments, leave me your feedback, what you think about it. I would be trying to respond to most of the comments given that I've not created a separate solar or lunar eclipse video, but I wanted to, ascertain that information and provide it to you in the monthly reading itself. If you have, then please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dave Astrology and keep watching.